Yeah, I thought we played two really good teams. DePaul has been up and down, but I thought they played a really good match and challenged us, especially in game one. Marquette really dominated the match on Saturday. I think at different times we'd tie it up, and then we gave up too many runs. I thought they really won the first contact battle. So, obviously you never like to lose, but I think there's some great things that we can learn from it. Everything that we still want to accomplish is in front of us. So we'll watch some film today and get back in the gym and hopefully be better for it on Friday night when we take on Xavier or Butler.
Questions for either coach or Kendra?
It's been a while since you guys have dropped a match. Was it maybe kind of a nice reminder of what that feeling is like?
Nice reminder.
Maybe not.
I think my comment to my husband was, I hate flipping losing. So I don't know if that was the way that I really felt about it. But I do think things can be learned in losses. There's no question. But, I didn't like the way that we necessarily lost. It wasn't an issue that I thought the team gave up or got chippy or any of those sort of things. But, I thought we had some opportunities and didn't seize them. It was just kind of a night that just never really got in our rhythm. And Marquette had a lot to do with that.
Kendra, what surprised you from the serving disparity? Seemed like they were on and you guys weren't.
Yeah, I think Booth had told us beforehand that she had heard that one of their goals was to come out and serve aggressively, and I think we all knew that, but it also kind of surprised us when we saw that they came out and they just went for it every single ball. I think that was a little, not surprising because we knew it was coming, but still. And then I think behind the service line for us, it was just, we weren't taking, I know personally, I kind of let up a little bit when all of a sudden it was like, oh, we're playing almost not to lose, instead of we should have been going out there and going for it just as aggressively as they were, I would say.
Kendra, is there an excitement level starting the tournament at home?
Oh, for sure. I think especially after this past weekend, we are so excited to get back on our home court, have our fans home again, and just have another shot to play, hopefully two great matches this weekend.
Coach, how big of an advantage is it to be at home and just getting to sleep in your own beds and everything like that?
I think it is a big advantage. I think Marquette played very comfortable at their place, probably the most I've seen them play comfortable. And so there is something about your home court. But I think a lot of the teams, just as we actually like playing at Marquette, it's got Terraflex, it's a nice atmosphere. I think a lot of the teams feel that way about our atmosphere. So I have no doubt everyone's going to put their best out. Everyone but Marquette and Creighton are playing for their life, so but just to have the fans buoy you if it's 23-23, they're going to be helping to push things along those lines can really pay some big dividends.
Does the preparation change at all now that it is postseason?
I don't know if it changes so much other than I think it's been changing over the last couple of weeks of instead of saying what can we work on for the next 2 months, it's okay, what adjustments can we make right now that maybe could be better tomorrow or be better in 3 days if we work on it. You also have bodies to manage, so it is finding that balance of trying to improve and work on things but also make sure our bodies are 100% when we hit the court on Friday.
How'd Nora look to you just in terms of kind of getting back into the swing of things after missing a week?
I thought she looked like Nora, and I think teams were committing to Nora the way that they always commit to Nora. So, no, I think she's doing well. Thanks.
Kendra, has there been any talk amongst the players about, the opportunity ahead and, if you win out, there's a possibility of potentially hosting again?
Yeah, I think that's something we always talk about. Hosting is a huge advantage for the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament. So I think that's something that's always been our mind. But we also have just that mindset of we don't like to lose. We want to go out there and we want to play our hearts out every single night. We want to show how talented we are. So I think we're excited for this postseason so that we can keep showing that.
Kendra, what do you think the prevailing sentiment was from the team coming home? Because, Friday you guys clinched the 9th straight regular season title. That's not easy to do. It's a long, months-long journey to get to that point. But you also didn't get to keep it for yourself selfishly because Marquette shared it. So how did you guys feel coming back?
Yeah, I think we talked a lot after our Marquette match that now it's time to bounce back. It's over, it's in the past. Now it's time to get back in the gym, have that motivation for this week, and come out again just as fired up and kind of looking forward to this weekend.
So no time to celebrate the.
I mean, I would say we celebrated on Friday night. We celebrated that we got it, but I think now it's just we got it. Now it's on to the next one. Kind of move past it onto championship season.
Do you feel like there's a bigger target on your backs given the amount of regular season championships you guys have had?
Within the league? Yes. I always feel like we have a big target on our backs. But that also is fun. I think they've earned that. So I think you have a choice of, shying away for that or leaning into it. And so I think there's a lot of pride within the entire team, the players and the coaches, that we want to continue to hopefully get to hang a banner, and it's hard, so these guys have worked very hard to earn that. We would have liked to have held it outright, there's no question, but being up there and still saying you're a champion is a pretty cool thing. But yeah, I think there's no doubt, I think other teams in the league would like to not have it land at Creighton, and that's just the nature of sport, right?
There's probably about 4 or 5 teams, I guess, last I checked, that are gunning for those last coveted spots to host. Is that a front of mind goal going into this week, to play well, to make the case, or are you just thinking about the Big East tournament itself?
No, I think, we'll talk to the team about what we think. I think we think if we don't win the tournament, we probably won't host. We think if we do win the tournament, we probably will host. I mean, who knows? I'm not on the committee. I haven't talked to anyone on the committee, but we'll give the team that information. And, but that ties to a lot of things. We want to hoist a trophy at the end. We want to build our RPI. So all those things kind of work in collaboration.
At this point in the season, I know mentality, of course, becomes really big, and the mental game. I know that's something that's big for you, Coach. I saw a tweet out about how you guys visualize before the game, like just sitting on the court. Can you take me through when that started, why, and how it's impacted from both the player and coach perspective?
Gosh, we've been visualizing for a while. I don't, we started work with Dr. Widman in 2012, but I don't think we started that for a few years. But it's been probably 5, 6, 7 years that we've visualized. But yeah, so either the morning of a match, if we're on the road and we're doing a morning practice, so like at DePaul, did we do it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, DePaul morning, we practiced there, and so we visualized there. Marquette on Saturday, we visualized there. On the road, we'll usually do it the night before, or I'm sorry, at home, we'll usually do it the night before. But basically, a coach takes them through and just wants them to see themselves doing things, and you wanna lock into all your senses. So not only are you seeing it, you're smelling it, you're feeling it, you're trying to create those emotions that I'm nervous. How are you going to respond if you're nervous? Let's take some deep breaths. I'm excited. I look up in the stands and I see family. How does that make you feel? So you want to elicit those emotions so that when those things happen in real life, you already are prepared for those things. And there's lots of research behind it, and I really believe in it. And I remember one match saying, we've been in this situation before. We were there this morning. Let's lean into this. So I think mental training is something some players really get into, and then some others take a little nap while you do it, and that's okay, right? Like, I think that's a lot of what we do as coaches. You try to push buttons to connect with different players.
Kendra, for you as a player, how's it helped?
Yeah, I think I didn't do a whole lot of visualization before coming to Creighton, and even just from like last year to this year, I've seen a huge impact on just like taking that time to really settle in. And I think the major impact this year was using all of my senses, being in the gym, like feeling the ground, like smelling, starting to like hear different things, whether I know it's like our fan base at home, what it's gonna hear, what it's gonna sound like. If we're away, kind of getting a feeling of how does the ball sound in the gym, kind of those things. And it does feel like it helps calm me down, kind of gets me prepared for the match ahead. And then I can also go through stressful situations, what might come up, and kind of work through how I'm gonna react, how to calm my body down in those types of situations. And I think it's been huge for me this year, for sure.
Do you feel like that's the biggest separator between great teams and elite teams, especially in the postseason?
The greatest separator, I firmly believe, matches are won at 23-23, right? So if you have a team that can handle that situation and are prepared for it, and I don't think we train it all that much, and when I say we, I mean sport in general. I've built an app with people based on this to try to help deal with mental training. So obviously I believe it, but it's part of the separation. You know, we'll always say that, you know, talent's the biggest thing. You can have a poorly mentally prepared team, but if they have way more talent, they're going to win the game most of the time. But if talent is equal, then I think those are the separators. So these are the things that we're doing are hopefully giving us a point or two a game. These are not going to be 10-point differentials, right? But at 23-23, if she can set a risky set or a high, you know, and our hitters can go in aggressively because they've been able to see themselves and they have a confidence to do it, and there's a lot of different pieces, I do think it's a major separator.
What have you made of the way that Jazz has kind of stepped into a bigger role as of late? Obviously, she didn't see a ton of time earlier in the season, but as of late, she's really kind of stepped into some big spots for you.
Yeah, she's seized opportunities for sure. And I think the thing with Jazz is, you know, it's a good lesson for every kid. You know, Jazz started early, went to the bench, and no one likes to go to the bench, right? But Kendra can attest. I mean, it was hard, but she came in every day. She worked hard. She's an energy bus. I mean, she is a leader. She's committed to being a great team player no matter what her role. I remember when I recruited her, she said, no matter what I do, I will be a great teammate. And she committed to that before she arrived because I didn't promise her playing time. But had she checked out, and I think a lot of kids in her situation check out at that point. They get frustrated. Then she's not on the court. And so I think, you know, it's a good lesson for all those kids. We talk about the ankle turn or, you know, all those different things. But if you continue to work hard, you know, a lot of times opportunities will come. Maybe not. But she's definitely seized those opportunities and impacting the team in a great way.
Is that kind of setting an example for some of the younger players that aren't seeing the court as much, saying, like, you got to come and work every day?
I hope so. You know, I think it's an example for every player, seniors all the way down, right? Because everyone wants to play. And you know, we really work hard to recruit players that, you know, are our team before self. Kendra knows this. Every spring I have them fill out something, and one of the questions is, how are you going to handle not getting the spot that you want? I want every player, I want the Kendra Waits of the world to process that, because you know, there's always that chance for every player that that's going to happen, and they need to, you know, process, okay, how am I going to react? Am I going to continue to fight for the position? Am I going to wallow in self-pity? And I think it shows character. I always, you know, it's easy to be a great teammate when things are good. It's when things, when you struggle, what kind of teammate are you that really shows character to me.
Any big message for your team going into the East tournament here?
I think we're a great team. I think that's what, I mean, I've tried to tell them that, you know, and Saturday night was good for us. We played another great team. They punched us, didn't necessarily react the way we want to react. So how are we going to react now? Are we going to go get better? We got to be in long points. But I think this group is very, very good. And I think we could do some great things.
Anything further for Coach or Kendra?
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.